Here's Brooke.
Oh, and a fun little ending. That was the Tutors. They're from Omaha, Nebraska. They are pro cookies. They are pro Girl Scout cookies, if you didn't notice. One more time for the Tutors. We love you. Thank you for that. That was so fun. We need this silly. This show is called Contagious because, you know, the joy is contagious. And since you need to stay home for the most part, we might as well infect you with joy while you are there. So you're welcome. You're welcome. Every week I have a new lineup. This week I think you'll really enjoy them. I've got James Mack and King David Lane and He Wong. They're all very, very funny, I believe, and I think you will too. If there is a favorite Girl Scout cookie of yours, I would love to hear about it in the chat, either on the live stream or if you're here in the Zoom. Tell me your favorite cookie. I actually can't have cookies because of my allergies, but if I was to have one, I really like the caramel delights and the thin mints, of course, when they're cold. And there's like a lemony one that's pretty good. Then there's like a chocolate peanut butter one. It's just like there's so many good cookies, and then they keep coming out with new ones. Oh wow. Okay. I didn't know I was gonna see Girl Scout cookies, so I didn't make any jokes, but I was a Girl Scout. And so I'll give you a confession. You didn't know you were gonna get a confession today. I was a Girl Scout, but I was also good at lying, I guess. I would make up. I know we're supposed to be really good. I don't know if this is Girl Scouts or this is Girl Scouts. I feel like this is aggressive. Like it may be 3, and then it's 2 Boy Scouts. I'll have to look that up. But I would cheat. I would look through the list of like how you would gain the patch, right? Because you could get all these different patches, and I was like, what could I have done? You know, like if I had the resources and the mom who cared about, you know, what I wanted to do, what patches could I have done over the weekend? You know, check. And then I had all the patches. I looked like a really good Girl Scout on the outside. Feels good to get that off my chest. Probably should order a cookie or two just for karma's sake. I can hand them off to somebody. I don't have to eat them myself. I don't want to get hives or anything. Yeah, that does feel good. We should probably all get a confession out. At least once a day, you know, no sense holding it in. I do get fired kind of a lot. I try not to work for companies just because of that, you know. It's hard to be what they want you to be sometimes, especially if it's I guess courteous to customers, on time. I don't know what they call professional. Like I don't know. I worked in restaurants for a long time because they're pretty safe, you know, if you're not like super good at following the rules at the other jobs. But still found my way to get in trouble there. First, it was like my first week at Red Lobster. They told me like to empty the hot water machine, and I stood there forever. I stood there for a long time just emptying hot water before someone said, "Hey, it's never gonna run out." Ugh. So then I was like, I shouldn't probably listen to them. They're probably all lying to me. But then sometimes I thought they were serious. Like when they told me I could scream in the freezer and it was soundproof. I can't believe I believed that. I believed that one for 8 years. 8 years. So many restaurants. I I really thought that was my safe place, and I'd go back there and I'd scream like, I don't want to give you any lemons. He said make lemonade or whatever, and I can't really blame myself too much. I should. That's taking responsibility, but I prefer blame. I'm gonna blame my grandpa. I'm gonna blame my grandpa because he was a heckler. I mean, he was an alcoholic. But it would come out as heckling, you know. In my I was at dance recitals, and he would heckle me in the audience. Like, oh, look at that twirl! That's my girl. You know, that seems innocent enough, but so like you do your tap routine earlier in the show, and then like as it goes on, I would be speckled throughout the night because the costume changes. You know, come out maybe an hour later, because some of these shows would go on for a while, and he had a lot of whiskey by that point. Yeah, he got pulled out of the theater. They said you can't say that to the children, you know. I asked my mom like later on, I'm like, what exactly did he say? She's like, we're never talking about it. I just feel like I'm living like kind of like my best life, trying to be like my ancestors. You can't get drunk all the time, then you just holler out stuff like okay. My little brother, 3 years younger than me, so high school, I was a senior, he was a freshman. He played football, and I was proud of him. I was excited, and I'd be like, way to tackle, Shayna Wackle. You're the tackler, lineman. Way to go, Shayno, because his name's Shane. I thought I was clever. But then like I would come back, like I graduated, and then I would go to college, and I would come back for his games. So when he was a senior, you know, I'd be sipping on my whiskey during the game. And I got bold, and I thought I was doing my brother a favor. I was like, rah, rah, ree. Somebody take my brother's virginity. Just somebody, anyone. Come on.
Yikes.
And I'd be like, he's got a really big heart. It makes up for his dick, I promise. I don't know. I shouldn't have said that. Apple doesn't fall far from the tree. I'm not going to tell jokes the whole night. I've got comedians. They're waiting in the wings. They're excited and ready to go. So I'm going to introduce one of them for you. Are you ready? Yeah. Whoa, yeah. Thank you. All right. The first comedian I met like months ago, almost a year ago, maybe. We've been doing a comedy open mic in Indiana, like every week. It's been really, really fun. He has a podcast. You can watch it on YouTube, Wrestling with Problems. But like the kind of wrestling, like I was talking about, like, was I talking about wrestling? I don't know.
No.
Maybe not. My brother wrestled, so that's probably why I thought of that. But it's not like, maybe that's the only kind of wrestling. I'm gonna have to look at a thesaurus. Maybe that's the only kind of wrestling. But is it like hands-on wrestling? That's what I'm thinking. Is it like hands-on, like superhero wrestling, or is it just like, when you're like inside wrestling with it? I'm gonna have to check it out myself. I suggest that you all check it out. Also, Disposable Theater Improv. Check that out too. Please put your hands together for our first comedian, King David Lane.
Okay, thank you, everybody. So double names, so it's like that. Anyway, let me get into my jokes. I'm glad that He Wung is on the show and not He Hung, because I was nervous when I saw that in the title. He Hung is the title of my other online show I did today, but that's on my OnlyFans. So check that out later too. Anyway, I love doing stand-up comedy. I get to meet the most interesting, colorful people. I get to meet white guys in their 20s that they look like they're in their 40s. It's just sad. I also get to meet black guys in their 40s that look like they're in their 20s. I'm 87 years old. You can't tell that's black don't crack, baby. 2020 and 2021 have been some wild times, man. The price of everything is going up. Inflation's a bitch. You know, adjusted for inflation, Jay-Z now has 132 problems. And a bitch ain't one and a third. Man, they say laughter's the best medicine. You guys agree with that? Laughter being the best medicine?
I think so.
I wonder if Bill Cosby agreed with that. After the fact, he just regretted all the money he spent on Quaaludes. He should have just been dropping jokes for years. But anyway, speaking of famous black sex offenders, R. Kelly's lawyer said the most interesting thing not too long ago.
What?
He told the judge, "Hey, judge, I would need to see a copy of these alleged underage sex tapes that you said my client has," which I didn't get. I'm like, why are you asking the judge for a copy? Can't you just get the originals from R. Kelly? By the way, don't make the mistake I made. It's tax season. I'm going to jail this year for what I did last year. Make sure you go to H&R Block, not H&R Kelly Block. It will make a huge difference. Everywhere on my taxes last year where there was a 14, he rounded up to 18 and winked at me. By the way, I mentioned 2020 being a rough year. 2020 was a rough year for a lot of people. You might have somebody in your life that didn't get to go to prom last year. So I want you to send a shout out to them right now, like R. Kelly. R. Kelly had not missed a prom in 35 years. So I feel real bad. 2020 was real wild, though. I'm from Gary, Indiana originally, even though I live in Lake Station now. Man, I had the craziest story in Gary. A retired drag queen stabbed a dude to death for calling him an insensitive term for gay men. Can you believe that? It's the year 2020, and drag queens have retirement benefits. All this time I've been wearing women's clothes for free. By the way, comedy's not paying the way I expected to pay recently, so I had to come up with other ways to generate revenue. I've come up with a rejuvenating spa and treatment for the skin, as well as treatment for drug problems. I call it Methadone Clinique. Really thins out the face. A lot of people want to know, King, why do you carry a briefcase with you? Because I'm a comedian that carries a briefcase. And I tell them all the same thing. You need to mind your own damn business. What I do with a briefcase full of pesos, a blonde wig, and an unregistered handgun is my business. But then a lot of times there's white comedians at the show. I could use a white set of fingerprints on my briefcase. So if you're white and you're a comedian, please touch it. At any rate, let y'all in on a little secret. Tonight, I will be the black portion of the show. However, I work a lot of black rooms too. I am not the black person there. I'm what you call a starter black. What you call a gateway black. I'm what you call diet black. I'm that first safe black friend that takes you into your journey of blackness. Because I'm what you call black, but not so black. Get with me. He's black, but he's not so black. Like I'm black enough that I scare your parents, but I'm not so black that I scare you. I'm black, but I'm not so black. I'm black enough to fulfill Brooks Mandingo fantasies, but I'm not so black. I'm gonna try to get you to listen to my rap tape after the show. Because I'm black, but not so black. I am indeed black enough to be shot by the police, but I'm not so black. No one will give a shit if I get shot by the police. Hey, some people are laughing too hard at that one. I'm black, but not so black. By the way, if you have kids, talk to your kids about proper use of the internet, proper use of texting, because kids are out there sexting and it's dangerous. Don't let them do that. It's inappropriate. Not only can it get you in trouble later, but that's not the proper way to court a lady or a male. You know, back when I was younger, I had respect for ladies. I knew how to do it properly. You know what I did if I wanted to court a lady? I would put on a nice collared shirt like this. I put on my best slacks, my Dockers or maybe my penny loafers, my best London Fog trench coat. I puffed my chest out, walked real proudly down to the laundromat, and only flashed my dick at the most special woman there. That's how you make a lady feel special. You can't just show it to everybody. You just go down to that laundromat and make really close eye contact with one lady, and she'll know that you're the one for her. But got some other bad news though. This is going to be a really, really rough thing. They recently conducted the world's first penis transplant. This is a real thing. You can Google it, and I'm not happy about it. And it's not that I mind a guy getting his sexual function back. That's not the problem. I just know as a black man, this is going to go personally bad for me. Somewhere there's going to be a rich white guy like James Mack looking through a binder full of dicks. He's going to scroll through it. Small white one, no thank you. Medium white one, that's maybe. He hung, no, probably not. His eyes will light up, get real big. Say, oh shit, how much for that big black cock? I will pay $10,000 for that giant black cock. Next thing you know, I'm waking up in a bathtub in Mexico filled with ice just so James could be hung like a horse. No, thank you, James. I'm not falling for that shit. It's not like black men in America ain't got enough things to worry about. Now we got to worry about black market dick harvesters. But I mentioned 2020 was a roller coaster of a year. For me, it was like real up and down. Like I learned for the first time I was going to be a father. And I was like, damn, I'm not sure if I want to be a father. So it was like good news, bad news. Then it turned out I get Casey Anthony pregnant. So you can say the good news was short-lived. But if you think about it, there's nobody better to get pregnant if you're not sure if you want to be a father or not. If it turns out you want to be a father, you get custody. Turns out you don't want to be the father, you give her custody. The problem takes care of itself. That's a little dark. Anyway, I know people were talking about some crazy stuff. I want to let you know a little secret. I got plush surroundings here at the castle, so I got to have an advanced security system. I am a member of the Second Amendment Army, but if you break in my house, I'm not going to shoot you. And I know what you're thinking. Why would you not shoot somebody? I am indeed black enough the police will ask a lot of questions if I shoot somebody. But what I will do if you break in my house is I'm going to sodomize you.
What?
And I know what you're thinking. Ow! Why would you sodomize somebody when you shouldn't? We wouldn't shoot them. If I shoot you, police ask questions. If I sodomize you, you're not telling anybody that shit happened. Especially not the police. And you know what else is not going to happen? You're not going to break into my house. Again. Well, I take that back. Kirk Brosen broke into my house 3 times last week. You're not. Don't try it again. I'm not falling for it. And a bonus too. If you sodomize somebody when they break into your house, you take that broken broom handle covered in blood and shit and put it on your front fence. It serves as a warning to the others not to break into your house. I'm all about results and solutions, you know. Here's a little something. If you're gonna masturbate, you can't be homophobic if you're a guy. Because think about it. When you masturbate, you're jerking off a dude's dick. Doesn't get much gayer than that. I take that back. I guess if you're really flexible, you can be slightly gayer than that. Also, if you're gonna masturbate, do it with pride. Don't be jerking off with dollar store lotion. Get some warming lube. Draw yourself a bubble bath. Light some candles. Put on some Barry White and some other soft music. Really make a night of it. If you're not going to take pride in your pleasure, how do you expect anybody else is going to do it? Listen to Uncle King. He knows what's best for you. Anyway, I'm going to let you in on a little secret while we're on our little sex rant here. I want to talk about people that use sexual terms and don't use them properly. Right now, we're going to talk about finger banging. Because a lot of guys are out here talking about, I was finger banging this lady. I was finger banging her. And I say, you're going to have to explain yourself. So I want to make sure you know what you're talking about. Because you take your fingers in there and you slide them in deep. And she comes really hard. And she says, yes, yes, oh, daddy, yes, yes, yes. And she comes on your face and squirts. You were finger banging. But if you stick a couple fingers in there slowly, romantically, you bring her to a nice, slow, rolling orgasm, and her leg starts to twitch. You weren't finger banging. You were finger making love. Or you know, got 3 pieces of advice for you guys. Very, very important advice. Piece of advice number 1. Don't get a lap dance from a stripper named Surprise. You won't like the surprise. Worst $20 I've ever spent. Worst $60 I've ever spent. Worst $100 I've ever spent. Rule number 2. Despite the similar names of the apps, Tinder and Grindr are 2 very different things. I've got my dick sucked on both of them, but I had a very different experience on either one. Last but not least, since this is Black History Month and most of you right here are white, pay really close attention to this one. Despite the similar names, the Soul Train and the Underground Railroad, 2 completely different things. Thanks a lot, everybody. Like King David, on all social media platforms.
Oh, I love the tie. I love the crown. I love the royalty. King David Lane, everyone. Starter black, not too black. Hell yeah, that was awesome. Thank you so much for sharing all of that with us. There's someone on the live stream that says that doesn't work with just fingers alone. Need to prove her wrong or okay. Oh, hell yeah, that was awesome. We've got 2 more comedians. We're gonna keep going. The next one is from China but living in Australia, so well traveled. Has a neat podcast that I saw that was out, so we'll have to look at that. Everyone, please put your hands together right now for He Huang.
Thank you, guys. Thank you. I'm trying to find the timer. Name is He. It's spelled as H-E. It's very easy. Sometimes people get confused. I remember one night I was out with my girlfriends. We were drinking in a pub, and this very cute guy, he came up to me. He was like, "Hi, what's your name?" And I say, "Hi, He." And he was like, "Huh?" I was like, "My name is He." And, nice to meet you, Ho. Well, excuse me, sir. I'm not a hoe. You know, that's my cousin. is a hoe. Her mom is a hoe. Her dad is a hoe. Those hoes are no. As you can tell from my outfit, where Brooke said I was made in China. Yes. Other than your lighting system, your cameras, and my outfit. Look, guys, I'm so sorry for what happened last year. Okay, like too soon, too soon. Like I was like, I was here. Oh, I didn't do it. I didn't do it. Didn't do it. I went through 3 lockdowns here in Melbourne, Australia. It's so fucking depressing. It feels like my childhood all over again. Isolated, depressing, but minus all this mathematics assignment. Okay, let's see that. But I don't like the news. To be honest, it got me scared. The hate against Asians. I remember after the lockdown, I was walking on the street. Randomly, this guy just yelled at me. He was like, "Go back to China." And I was like, "Sir, there's no flight." Ow, like, excuse me. But try to keep it positive. During lockdown, I got a boyfriend after 5 years of being single. Yay! Because I couldn't pay the rent. Yeah, it's a lot going on. Through Tinder, I know you guys must have heard about Tinder. I think Tinder is a great app for hookups, also for learning English, or getting killed. So either way, I think I don't know. You guys heard about Bumble? It's another dating app, but you have to be the conversation has to be initiated by women. I don't like that. Like, I don't know. I message all the guys on my Bumble app. None of them responded to my messages. I know. It's like, fuck. None of you guys have yellow fever. What the fuck is going on? Like, maybe I was being really aggressive. I was like, "Hi, cuties. Do you want to suck this Chinese titties?" Yeah. I don't know. Still learning how to be a suitor. I don't know. Predators. It's a learning process for me, ups and downs. But I choose to be told I'm the lucky woman. My boyfriend is really sweet. He's my type. But he's actually Indian from India, and I'm Chinese from China. So our parents are appointed. But come on, I'm so over being a single fucking lady in China. You know, like if you're Chinese, you're over the age of 27, you're still single. We're labeled as leftover ladies.
Wow.
Fucking brutal, guys. Like I love leftovers. Come on, we're young. Just take us home, doggy style, doggy bag, whatever. Like, no, I was reading that you cannot believe some of the things Chinese think tank said recently. They're like, to solve this leftover ladies, we propose to have one wife, 2 husbands solutions. I was like, who said Chinese government is not progressive enough? And you guys struggling with polyamorous, like cheating on each other, legalize polyamorous. We force you guys to have 2 husbands. It got me thinking, like, I don't think 2 husbands is enough for me. I need 5 at least.
Yeah.
1 for money, 1 for sex, 1 for pleasing my husband and my parents. And then the 4th one is for, soulmate and stuff, like, spiritual stuff. And the 5th one is to raise my kids. I think I need 5 of them. That's how progressive I got. But anyway, I don't like that kind of shenanigans from the government. I am happy with my one boyfriend solution so far, so I'm gonna stick with that. But it's actually my first time dating an Indian, So it's a lot of difference to explore, and the whole pandemic just escalated the relationship. Like we started from dating each other, being so cute and so reserved, and now we just fart and burp in front of each other without any shame. The other day I pulled the bathroom door and I saw him shitting naked. I was like, yeah, just close the door. Still love you. I feel like we've been dating for 2000 years. Oh yeah, I don't know. But I got to know a lot about Indians actually. So there's so many difference between each other, even though we're neighbors. Like he is religious. I am not. He is vegetarian and I am disgusting. And watching news on television and I just don't understand democracy. So it's a lot to learn about each other. But I think I don't know. I think it's not because like the language barrier between Indian and Chinese. It's gonna be so many trillions of Chindians in near future. Just gonna overpopulating the earth, stealing jobs, taking us from white people. What up, white people? Get all those like mathematics genes inside you. I'm bad at math. I am so bad at math. I am Chinese. I am bad at math, and I am also very cheap. I don't know. Like I'm Chinese, I'm cheap, not because I'm Chinese. It's just because I'm competitive. I need to get this deal down. But I don't understand why I'm so cheap because I compared to other immigrant families or whatever. I didn't take a boat here. I didn't go through wars and, famine and stuff. I grew up as a fat kid. Yeah. I don't never experience any hardship until I ask for it. So I don't really understand why. So that's the thing I need to think about. Why I'm cheap? Maybe it's traumatized childhood psychologically. But anyway, I don't want to burden you guys with my cheapness as a Chinese. So we make fun of. I miss traveling a lot, guys. I miss just going outside, hugging people. Not like I love hugging people. I just want to hug people to symbolize I'm friendly. But I miss traveling, like as a single lady, as a human being. I remember last year I traveled. No, the year before the pandemic, I traveled to Bangkok. Have you guys been to Thailand? Yeah, the white man's heaven. Guys there just fuck around. Yeah, I feel really objectified there. Like that's how I feel about it. Like the guys are just very aggressive. Even though I was single, I was ready to mingle, but come on, I'm not that, free, whatever. I remember I was standing on the straight intersections, waiting for my cab to go to the club, and this fucking white guys, I don't know where he's popping from. He was just like tap on my shoulder. He was like, "Hey, miss, how much?" I was like, what the fuck? I can get paid off front? That is outrageous. I should not pay my Tinder Gold membership. I should just standing on the street and hustling. Aggressive, I know. Yeah, I don't know. Like I have traumatized hookup stories. I don't know. Have you guys hooked up with the Trump supporter before? I live up to the motto, like I need to know what's going on in your head. So when I learned this guy on Tinder, I don't want to tell you guys too much about him, but his name is Eric. Average white, average build, average height. We got talk on Tinder and he was like, yeah, whatever. Because I was in DC study politics and he was like, everybody's very politics orientated there. And he was like, so I don't like China. As a submissive Chinese, it got me interested. I was like, yeah, tell me more about it. And I was like, I think Chinese should pay back Americans. I was like, okay, how? And it was like, tax, whatever, hegemony, whatever the big names. And I think Mexicans should pay for the walls. So okay, tell me about it. How? And we got talking. I got interested. I was like, come to fuck me. I want to know more about you. And I was like, but you have leaking into my room. Okay, I don't want my roommates to find out I'm doing you. So he actually came on short notice. I know. Oh my God. talking about those mental issues of white supremacists. And he came. We got talk. He exchanged his hate against the Chinese government. I think that's very good. We had animalistic sex without emotions, just pure hate. The
Oh my
sex was,
God.
yes, revenge, whatever you can call that. But it's awesome. I was like, this is good start, just fuck me and leave me alone. And then I got it really aggressive. He's like, at the end of the sex or conversation where you talk, I was like, oh, my grandpa's gonna be really disappointed if he knew that I fuck the Chinese. I was like, that's how my grandma feels the same way if she got to know. Like that's I don't know. I don't really have a punchline for the story, but I think it's just a very funny hookup story with the Trump supporter. There's a lot of mental issues we need to talk about the white supremacists, and very aggressive Chinese. Yes, I look at all the text message I used to message him. I was like, I was fucked up as well, How come? Why you said yes to all those fabulous sex? Like, no, even the sex was good. You should say no to Trump supporter. That's why, I said no after 2 years later. I'm gonna end this. I watched a lot of documentaries during the lockdown. I'm not sure what you guys are watching. I watch a lot of serial killer documentary. It's fabulous to get to know those fabulous fucking psychopath. But I watch it mostly to get motivation, I won't be that driven. I want that kind of motivation, goal orientated, punctual, and very driven. Like 4 a.m, peeking into someone's window. I cannot even make to my 8 a.m. Zoom meeting on time. I'd be like, Jennifer, I am on my way. That motivation, I don't know. I want to know how they manage have 3 families, killing hundreds of people, and still manage to have the image of a husband and a good father. I was like, I need that kind of motivations to keep life going on. And that's my time. I've been Huang He. Thank you so much. Enjoy your weekend.
Yes. Woo! Oh, we got dating advice. We got all sorts of fun stuff there. Thank you so much. If you can put a link for your podcast in the chat, and then we can put it on the live stream too. That way people can check it out and hear more of you.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
One more round of applause for he, everyone. Yeah. All right, our next comedian, he says he is not just a regular white guy, okay? He is extra. He is a producer of Headspace and Timing Comedy. They do a lot of shows. There's a Winging It comedy show on our iHeartRadio and YouTube. Make sure you check that out. He's really fun. You're going to like him a lot. Please put your hands together for James Mack.
Thank you so much, Brooke. It was great. Last night I got to perform with a guy named Ronald. Tonight I get to perform with a king. Maybe tomorrow night it'll be Wendy's. No, hey, King David, I know you were telling the small dick white jokes. Go check out a guy named John Holmes. It'll change your mind. No, it's for those of you who were in the room a little bit earlier, I got a dog at the beginning of the year, and it's changed some things around the house now because beforehand, if I heard a noise at like 2 o'clock in the morning, I'm just grabbing my gun and we'll go deal with it. But now, like if my dog's barking into the darkness at 2 o'clock in the morning, I don't know whether to grab my gun or my Bible now. So. And let's be honest, y'all, I'm from Texas originally. They're both on my nightstand. Not the dog, the gun and the Bible. So let's clarify. So, anybody here have pets? I mean, I know Kirk has a cat. I saw that earlier. Kim, Patricia, do y'all have pets? No?
My parents do, I don't.
Yeah. So, well, when I told my mom I was getting a dog, she was like, "Oh, you're going to be a pet dad now," and I'm like, "No, I'm not. No, no." Y'all, I'm from Texas. I live up in New York City. Like, I don't need people thinking I fucked a dog. You know, like they already think I'm into bestiality just because of where I'm from. So it's not cool. But some people really do take the pet parent thing just way too far. Like I saw a sticker on the back of a car, and it said, "I'm a proud grand dog parent." Yeah. I think if you put that sticker on the back of your car, you should have to put a picture of your kid so we know why nobody wants to fuck them. So,
Jeez.
like I said, I do live up by New York City. I am originally from Texas. When I told my southern Arkansas mom that I was moving up here, she was like, "Oh my God, James, something horrible is going to happen to you up there. You're going to get mugged or raped or even worse, lose your accent." So, yeah, no, none of that's happened. So, a little bit about me, though, is I did grow up in an Irish Catholic family. Is there anybody here that's Catholic? So, it's okay. You can identify. It's Lent right now. So, no, the reason I always tell people I'm Irish Catholic is, and some people get confused because they're like, "Oh, James, what's the difference between Irish Catholic and like Roman Catholic?" Whiskey. Yeah, lots of it. Like when we take communion, there's no red wine, y'all. It's Jameson. So. But I did grow up Irish, and when I tell people that, they're usually like, "Oh, like 7 generations ago Irish." No, like my grandma came over from Belfast, y'all. Yeah. You too, Patricia?
Yeah,
Okay, so you'll understand
from
that.
the north of Ireland,
Yep.
not Belfast, Downpatrick, but yeah.
Oh, okay, cool. Then you'll understand this. Like, I had to grow up listening to a lot of Irish folk music. Yep.
Yeah.
And I have figured out that Irish folk music is just rap for poor white people. Yeah, because if you go and listen to the songs, they're talking about the exact same thing. Like, take the song Whiskey in the Jar that Metallica covered shittily, but they covered it. And if you go and look at the words, it's a song about a guy who goes and robs another dude, goes home, tells his wife, while he's asleep, she calls the guy that he robbed to come rob him back. Tell me that don't sound like a Tupac song. And there's tons of other examples. I mean, you could take like Bone Thugs and Harmony's Crossroads. It's just like, you know, Danny Boy or Irish Eyes Are Smiling is just another way to sing, you know, Ice Cube's Today Was a Good Day. And I'll prove to you that none of y'all can tell the difference either. So there's a song about a guy who gets a brand new car, decks it out, or a brand new vehicle, decks it out, and like is just singing about it. So clap if you think that that's a rap song. All right, cool. Clap if you think that's an Irish folk song. None of you are right. It's the wheels on the bus go round and round. So yeah, one of the things that I have to deal with a lot up here in the north is I have to deal with stereotypes about Southern people. And one of the ones that I hear a lot is that white people don't like spicy food. Have y'all heard this bullshit? Yeah. Because that's exactly what it is, y'all. I come from East Texas. We're like Cajuns on horseback. So, yeah, we put hot sauce on everything we eat. Makes taking a girl home on that first date a lot more fun. So. Yeah, she can't say she didn't feel anything that time. So, and I am a true gentleman. I do have an assortment of hot sauces by the bed, you know, because I want it to be for her pleasure. And if the person with you didn't get that joke, it's okay. It's a slow burn.
Oh,
Now, one of the things that I see a lot are those little family stickers on the back of cars. You know what I'm talking about? The dog, the cat, the kids, the wife. The other day I saw one, but it had the husband with a big red X over him. And I was like, man, lady, there are easier ways to let people know you are single. So, like, become a stand-up comic. Hey, y'all, I'm single. right here. Except for here's the difference, y'all, is when I say I'm single, I know why I'm single. I have a beard and a beer gut, so up here people think I'm a softball lesbian. Yeah. And here's the thing, y'all, is and some ladies really love the beard, though. That's one thing I found out, which makes no sense to me because guess what? You're rewarding me for doing less than nothing. I literally had to stop shaving for this to work. And some people are like, "Oh, James, do you grow your beard out because you're a veteran or because you want to show people how masculine you are?" No, motherfucker, I'm trying to hide my second chin. Yeah, I mean, I've tried to lose the weight, but guess what? Y'all are prejudiced against fat guys in jogging pants. So, like, you see a guy with a six-pack in jogging pants, and y'all are like, "Oh my God, he just got through working out. Such a good man." And then you see my fat ass in jogging pants, and you're like, "Oh, this son of a bitch just got through working on a pizza." So, it still burns calories. Come on. But no, the last girl I dated though was kind of weird, but I'm not talking about the kind of weird like roll over, bite the pillow, and the safe words orange. Not like that. No. She was the kind of weird like every 28 days I would be the good boyfriend and I would go get her tampons and chocolate. But then she started coming home with a fifth of whiskey, and I was like, "Honey, what are we celebrating?" She goes, "It's not a Father's Day." Which that wouldn't have been so damn weird, except for she had an IUD, which is birth control, y'all. And IUD is really close to IED, except finally it was a safe explosion. I love the 2-second delay before Brooke laughs. So, speaking of IEDs, y'all, I am a veteran. I did 15 years as a paratrooper in the Army. Please, yay, thank you. It's nice to know a couple people are still brainwashed. It's awesome. So, no, thank you, Art. Thank you. Air Force? Oh, Jesus Christ. We'll try not to talk about work then. I don't want you to start a sweat. So, no, y'all, out of that 15 years, I spent 10 years deployed downrange. So please, if we ever meet each other face to face, no quick movements and we'll all be all right. Yeah. I do have PTSD, and if you ask my mom what that stands for, it stands for being pretty, tempting, sexy, and debonair. And when people find out I have PTSD, they're usually like, "Oh shit, dude, are you on any meds? Are you on any drugs?" And yes, I am. I do take an antidepressant, y'all. Except for I found something out is that the antidepressant I have, or that I take, can cause erectile dysfunction, y'all. But there's two different types of erectile dysfunction. Gotcha, fuckers. Because there's the kind that you need the blue pill for, and then there's the kind that makes it seem like you're always on the blue pill. That's the one that I have. And if you're wondering how that could be a bad thing, if you have ever asked a girl for a blowjob and she knows you're going to last for 90 minutes, that shit ain't happening. So that's right, y'all. I take an AD that causes ED that stops me from getting a BJ. And how am I supposed to be thankful? And that might be TMI for all of you. So, yeah, I know nobody wants to hear COVID jokes anymore, but here's something I've kind of figured out over this past year is because I have to wear that stupid little cloth mask like everybody else. And now with the beard, I have figured out why you ladies trim everything downstairs now. So this gets kind of weird smelling if you wear that shit for too long. So, but here's something I really wish is ladies, please stop getting Brazilian waxes because y'all complain a lot that guys can't find different parts down there. Well, let me give you a clue. There's a reason why we paint fucking circles around targets when we shoot at stuff. Yeah, I mean, you gotta like point it out or something, you know. It helps us find the clit. And I was thinking about the first time that I ever heard about a clit, and I was about 8 years old. My older brother and his football buddies were talking about it, except for they called it a clitoris, and so I thought it was a dinosaur. The only reason I have this background right there for that one joke. No, it's like I said, I did serve in the army, but I eventually got out. I retired in 2010. And you know, you got to take other jobs. I was a state police officer in Nevada for 2 years. The only good, really cool story I got out of that was I did a traffic stop at 2 o'clock in the morning. Walked up and I was like, "Sir, do you know why I stopped you?" And he's like, "No." I was like, "Dude, you ran the red light." He goes, "Oh, thank God! I thought it's because I'd been drinking." But after that, I did go into customer service for a little bit. And Brooke, I'm sure anybody who's done customer service or customer support can tell you about this. If you have the least little bit thing happen to you wrong, like you get a scratch or a sunburn, like you get asked about it 4 billion fucking times.
Yes.
Well, yep. Well, nothing exciting. I fell off a ladder, broke my wrist, had to go back to work. And of course, everybody's like, "Oh my God, how did you break your wrist? How did you break your wrist?" And I got tired of telling them. So the second week I went in, and the first person that asked me, I was like, "Oh, I was fisting a dragon, and she came." All right, y'all. Now, obviously, with it being Lent, we want to get some good religious material in there, just so everybody feels warm inside. So, do you think that Jesus was really tortured, or did he just forget his safe word? I think that there was a mistake in the translation of the Bible, and Jesus didn't really say, "Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do." What he actually said was, "Yes, Daddy, make me never forget." Yep. All right, we'll end on this one. So, does anybody here believe in reincarnation?
Sure.
All right, so you can come back. The rest of you can fuck off. All right. No, the reason I asked that, y'all, is when I was in Iraq, I was blown up 3 separate times by suicide bombers. Since I've been up here in New Jersey, I've almost hit 3 separate deer. Now you may be asking, James, what does a deer and a suicide bomber have in common? And no, King David, it's not the color of their skin. So it's actually because they both explode when they hit your windshield.
Jesus.
Mm. Mhm.
That's my favorite joke. I don't fucking. All right, y'all. My name's James Mack. You can find me at James Mack Comedy on all social media. Thank you very much, Brooke.
Ooh.
Can I say something to James? Can I say something to James?
Sure.
Can I say something to James?
Oh, sure. Art, say something to James.
I have a friend who's in his 60s and he's also a policeman.
Yep.
But he has a problem. When he stops a car, he can't let them know that he has that problem. So he walks up and says, "Do you know why I stopped you?" Because he has no idea. And
Yeah.
then you just wait for him to tell him, "Yeah, I was speeding. Oh yeah, you were speeding, all right."
Okay, one more round of applause for James Matt.
Thank you.
Yeah, check him out, James
I
Matt.
gotta go to a
Comedy.
show myself.
He's not going
sorry.
anywhere. He's
I
gonna be
believe it.
around for a while. We're gonna do a quick lightning round with some of the awesome people that were hanging out. So they're gonna do 2 minutes each. Please put your hands together for the first one. Let me do that. Nick Lindemann.
Hello, everyone. Always fun to be here. It's a good time. Unfortunately, today I'm the bearer of bad tidings. Fellas, this is a public service announcement for you. I hate to be the one to break it to you, but you ain't hitting it right. You're just not. There's a lot of unsatisfied ladies running around there. You've heard the jokes. That's not all just hyperbole. Like, they're unsatisfied. You know, we're not hitting it right. I mean, I am personally, I'm doing fine, but us collectively as a group are not. So I don't just want to come and rag on you. I've got a solution, and here it is. It's pretty simple. You say, "Hey, baby, what do you like?" and then she tells you what she likes, and then you do what she told you. And then even if that doesn't work, you still get points for being coachable. It's really amazing. I can't believe that I'm the only one that's thought of it. I am not the smartest guy in the entire world, but apparently people just don't think of it. Now, maybe you didn't think of it. Maybe it's laziness. Maybe you just don't care if she comes or not. I don't know what the problem is, but again, we ain't hitting it right. And I think we could do better. You don't want, and talking to the young guys now too, younger than me, you need to course correct when you're younger, when you're in your 20s, because you get to be an old fuck like me, your athleticism's gonna abandon you. Gonna come a day where you can't do cock push-ups anymore, and by that day, you better have learned a little bit of court savvy. No one wants to end up the sexual equivalent of Carmelo Anthony, clinging to a busted jumper, yammering about what a champ you used to be back in college. It's no fun for anyone. So I'm Nick Lindemann. Fellas, let's all try to do a little bit better. That's my time. Thank you very much.
Here's
All right, that's
Trish.
me. James, I was raised Irish Catholic too. And I realized something in the last few months, that being Catholic is like being a cheerleader for God. Because cheerleaders, they have like words and motions that go together. Lean to the left, lean to the right. Catholics have in the name of the Father and the Son. I don't know. It's a natural for me. I had some internet trouble this week. Tuesday, my Wi-Fi went out completely. My internet was dead, and I was faced with the possibility of a person I didn't know coming into my apartment for the first time in a year. Actually, people I do know don't come into my apartment because I've been like heavy quarantining for the whole time. So it forced me to make a really important decision. Should I take down my Christmas tree? Yeah, I know. It's February 26th. Boxing Day in the UK and Canada was 2 months ago from today. But yeah, the Christmas tree. And there's a lot to consider. One, I like the lights, but also the people across the street they're gonna call in a wellness check, because why is the old lady across the street not turning on her Christmas lights anymore? And then I'm gonna have cops at the door, and I don't want to deal with them either. So I compromised with myself and I took down the Christmas stockings from the mantle. I figured it was time. And you were talking about my dad had to take Viagra for a health condition, and when he was about 2 weeks, somebody asked him, "How's it doing?" He said, "All I've gotten is a stiff upper lip." I got my sense of humor. Bye.
Woo, woo, woo. Let's see if he's there. Ian, are you there?
No.
No.
Marco,
It's
I'm
your
at
2
the
minutes,
Tesla
buddy.
charging station.
All
Just
right.
hit me.
Here we go. Next one.
okay, cool. I felt like it almost felt like we should have been playing Marco Polo with fucking Ian just then. Hello. Top tip, if you're going to play Marco Polo with yourself, try and be creative. Marco, fuck off, Polo. Marco, shut the fuck up, Polo. Okay, cool. Right. So recently I got into an argument with someone, and no joke, their end of the argument was, you know what you are? You are the white Russell Brand. And it's like, hang on a minute. What's your point? Russell Brand's white. What is your argument here? Like, what's your argument here? As you can see, I'm trying to be relatable. Much better than getting cool. I've been called some weird things over the last year. You know, white Russell Brand, too loud, a Bond villain. Really? A fucking Bond villain? Like, that's probably the nicest thing anyone has said to me. That isn't my mother. Normally, she's like, stop talking about my anus. And it's like, how did you know? Have they been snitching again? Did they tell you about my obsession again? This is fun. This is probably the best 30 seconds you're going to get this week, if not ever. it's not often I'm able to last, but I feel like I'm about to murder Brooke in a few minutes. Like, I feel like Brooke is on the edge of banging her head against the wall, and just like, that did not help. That did not fucking help. But yeah, my alter ego's trying to murder me in my sleep. Come to Anarchy and you'll find out why.
All right. Woo! All right. That was our show. That was our lightning round. One more round of applause for all of the comedians. We had King David, He Huang, and James Mack. We had some Trish, a little bit of Kim, a little bit of Nick. We had a smidge of Ian, but not really. And the tutors. We'll be back here next Friday. Hope to see you again. Thank you so much. Good night.